everybody. First of all, fuck PSG. You know, two middle fingers. I wish I had a third hand, but I'm a bit short.
I can give the third hand.
Okay, fair enough. Fuck PSG and their entitlement, like which they have, which
What a game! What a game today, man! Come on, no words.
I have no words. Don't you think their self-righteousness got to them in the end?
Yo, bro, fuck shit. Forget about PSG. The point is, forget about whatever happens with them. It's their garbage. The point is now, we have a 37-year-old guy or 36-year-old guy. Like, God bless Madrid Smotherman for giving us such a player. Really, God bless her. Like, oh, holy shit, man. I don't even know what to say. Really.
And Kylian Mbappe needs to understand that there is a French king, and he's called Karim Benzema. Okay, Kylian Mbappe needs to pipe down. Benzema is still the king.
Absolutely. Getting back to Modric, today's episode is going to be wild. There's not going to be any sort of a template or a format, so it's going to be pretty mad.
Today we are just so happy.
Today, no holds barred,
too high on joy.
Yeah, since the very fact that Farooq mentioned Modric, I can't just get that image of him tracking back and tackling Messi like he's fucking 15. Like, how did he do that? Like, he has no right to get to the ball, man. Like,
man, Modric, even at 36, 37, he doesn't stop to amaze.
That's what, in my opinion, sets him apart from Kroos. Kroos, don't get me wrong, like, he is one of the best ever to do so. At what he does best, but he is not at all mobile, especially when he is not fully fit.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about Carlo's decision to start him? Just, I don't want to dampen stuff, but that hindered us for like 45 good minutes, 55 minutes.
Top show with dampen, because the truth is that like Kroos and Asensio and Carvajal, the three subs, they were like, okay, I don't know. Let's not say garbage, because I feel Kroos was a bit better. Like Asensio was shit, and Carvajal was much more shit. Like, I was literally praying at halftime, okay, Carvajal goes and Lucas Vazquez comes. Like, literally. Like, it was just, I don't know, like, he was such a weak link. Like,
I think Carvajal just got a little bit carried away, especially, when they scored the first goal. If you see Carvajal, he loses the ball to Nuno Mendes, and then he suddenly, starts pressing up high for some reason when he knows that there's nobody behind him. And the fact that we had no Casemiro today, I think there was nobody to track back and cover for him,
Nah, man, it's not about that. The point
going back to Sunet's point, I think the fact that it was Kroos as a CDM, he has no physicality and he could not cover. I think that
he's not mobile enough to play a sitting role. Like,
really, for Carvajal, no. Like, for the first set, Carvajal was garbage. He like.
Bro, but you have to give. Let me tell you one thing. Carvajal was below par today, but you got to cut him some slack because he's defending Mbappe. Like,
no.
What do you expect?
No.
What do you expect?
I think Carvajal. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so the point is this: like, if you get beaten by Carvajal and all, by Mbappe, sorry, like, I know that it's no problem. But the point is that when you have like 1 million players to pass to, and you choose the wrong pass, and refuse to track back, I'm sorry, but I can't cut a slack for that. And he considered the penalty in the first leg. He was like shit in the first leg, and we cut him the slack in the first leg because like, oh yeah, you're defending Mbappe literally like he's undefendable. You get the point. So the point is he owed us the performance. The point is Modric was garbage. He performed. What's he called? Vini was garbage. He performed. Benzema was not.
Vini was garbage in the first half. I'll tell you that he was garbage.
The point is in the first half, like there was a lot of things that weren't working after the first 15 minutes. But the point is that the guy stepped up to the plate. The guy stepped up and they performed. But like Carvalho was just, I don't know. He was just all over the place, really. Like the right flank was just, I don't know. It was just pure. It needs upgrade really. That we can keep.
I think for me is that ever since Carvajal has come back from injury, COVID, whatever that was, it's like he has struggled a lot. We talked about it in this last episode, and I think especially watching him in the past 3 episodes, I'm just going to say something that might be controversial, but for me personally, I was just going for a right back like Hakimi, if that means sacrificing Haaland to City. I would be okay with that. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe it's a little bit controversial, but for me, I think we need to get Hakimi or somebody, back in, and maybe I
we shouldn't be sacrificing for anything. This is not fucking Arsenal. Let me get this straight. This is Real Madrid.
Okay, that's a big thing coming from Sudan.
Because Like let's get this straight, man. Like obviously we need a Carvajal replacement, and it's been on the cards for
Man,
God knows how
but we
many
have to
years.
balance the budget, right? So
I know, man, but getting Haaland for like 60, 65 million, is it breaking the bank, really? Like if you
I
need
think the wages are. It's not just about the transfer fee.
No, agent
the,
fees.
right, but we are getting rid of so many people, right? In the summer.
I mean, Isco is not a big wage earner. It's like it's just Gareth Bale who's big. And if you're going to sign Mbappe, I don't know what happens to the deal after the loss today, because the funny thing is like today before the game I was reading this. I think it was from the French media or whoever. It was like if Real Madrid crash out today, then Florentino Perez is going to offer him, a formal contract to sign with Real Madrid for next season. But now Real Madrid, as expected, we beat them. So let's see what happens with that deal if Mbappe is going to sign.
When the camera cut to him at the end, he looked salty, man. Like he looked.
Definitely. But that's the difference. That is why you want to play for Real Madrid and not for PSG, right?
Yeah,
Because
I hope he
if
understands
you
that.
saw the game in the last 15 minutes, especially after we scored the third goal, like we could have scored a fifth, we could have scored a fifth, we could have scored a sixth.
Exactly.
PSG did not have a chance, man. PSG did not have a chance, and I think this is the
They just
difference that
fucking
separates
crumbled.
big teams
Oh,
from.
you love to see it. You love to see it.
This is what separates the big teams from the pretenders. Real Madrid is Real Madrid
I
for
gotta-
a reason.
Actually,
I gotta put my hands up. Yeah, go on.
thing is, it's not about the fact that the big teams from the pretenders, because we've seen like the truth is that with money you can actually get there, because we've seen like Chelsea and Man City to some extent, they've been there. But the thing is just that with Paris, like it's a whole different mentality. Actually, it's just I don't know, like it's in their DNA, like this choking or like bottling teams. I don't know. Like,
Chelsea and Man City to be.
You could say the
be
same
fair,
thing
they
for
have a
City,
fight.
right?
No, actually, you can. Actually, the thing is that with City is that they overdo things and stuff like that. But like you can actually watch City and actually see that and City haven't actually bottled the high-profile game. I don't think they have. Like they actually play good, and you can actually like sympathize with them. Like shit doesn't just come together and stuff like that. But for Paris,
I would say for City the fact is like,
and then still they just garbage the game. Like they played for 60 minutes, 65 minutes, like in a good way. I don't know, but then still they lost 3-1. And all three goals had an error from someone. Obviously, like to score a goal, someone has to make a mistake and something. But like they literally just the first goal, same. The second goal, okay, maybe not. But the second goal was how can I say, Modric robbing the ball from Benzema. From Neymar and then Vinicius and all that. And for the third goal, it was just like an assist to Benzema from Marquinhos, I guess. So it's just like they shot themselves in the foot as well. As much as like we were good, like their defense also was shit. So like they just keep shooting themselves in the foot. So I just feel like
I mean that is what we talk about when we talk about pressure, right? You need to know how to deal with it. And the fact when a player plays for Real Madrid, like he's under pressure for every game of the season, pretty much 90 minutes, And it's like they know how to deal with it. And then when you go to Paris, there's a reason why I think Qatar bought them in 2012, and till now they haven't won the Champions League. I think it was the same thing with Chelsea under Roman Abramovich, because when he came and he bought them, they went for like years before they finally managed to win the Champions League. And even the season they managed to win it, you wouldn't have thought Chelsea would win it, That's the thing. It's like, and even City, okay, we're talking about they are overplaying it, but why are they overplaying it? Because they're under pressure, they can't deal with the pressure.
But
simple as that,
I would like to point out to you here is this, like, although Chelsea were consistently being knocked out of the Champions League, Chelsea were considered as true competitors in the league, and same as Man City. What for Paris right now is that I haven't seen any pundit or any website who is counting Paris as a favorite to win the Champions League. No, I was listening to ESPN yesterday, and like Stevie Nicol was saying like this group is a bunch of chokers, and like one of the guys was saying to him like Messi has won the Champions League a lot of times, and he said Messi choked the Champions League 3 times as well.
Man, this is the 7th straight year Champions League Messi has crashed out.
So like the thing is this, like guys don't know how to do it when it matters.
It's not more so about choking. It's primarily because PSG have a reputation for tailoring to their prima donnas. Like if you look at City and Chelsea, they play as a team, man. Like even tonight, like apart from the opening maybe 10 minutes, you saw the front three had free reign. Like they never tracked back.
Yeah.
They just stayed up front. They weren't least bothered to track back or defend at all. So you get where when came from, like basically.
For me the thing is like when it comes to games of this magnitude, small things matter. And the fact is that our players are much better at dealing with pressure.
Yeah.
Whether it be that we're Real Madrid or whether it be the players, our players are much better. PSG, for whatever reason, they can't handle the pressure. It's not something new. They've been showcasing this year after year after year. So for
Fuck
me,
PSG and their arrogance, man. They thought they could fucking buy their way to the top. It was so satisfying. Like, I gotta put my hands up again that I supported Barca in the famous Remontada back in 2017. Like, for fuck's sake, like, I was no way rooting for PSG. I was fully behind Barcelona.
there's never been a time when I supported Barcelona. Honestly,
Actually,
I would have rooted for PSG against Barcelona.
I don't know for you guys, but actually, I feel like today was the best I have seen the Bernabeu. Actually, the fans and
Yeah, there's this.
But I was scared
guy
for them.
called there's this guy called Phil
like the fans came and like they were there. They presented the song. I can't remember actually seeing. I haven't felt such an atmosphere. Actually, I don't think.
Yeah.
The atmosphere was great.
There's this guy called Phil Medidis on Spanish Football Podcast.
Yeah.
So this guy, he was at the Bernabeu today, and he said today was the best atmosphere he's ever seen at the Bernabeu, even during the break when we were losing 1-0. And this guy used to work for Real Madrid TV. So,
but I felt like the crowd went a bit quiet when they went 2-0 up.
I think it was more sort of the fact that the broadcasters sort of decreased the volume of the crowd noise. Maybe because it was impacting the broadcast, but from the people who were there at the Bernabeu and who I spoke to, they said that it was really rocking today.
Well, let's delve a bit more deeper into it. How we started off, like, were you guys happy that Asensio and Cruz were starting?
For me personally, I was neutral because Asensio brings some things. But if I'm being honest, after the subs, let's be honest, like the way our team played changed. After the subs, especially after Rodrigo and Camavinga came on. I think this game should be a turning point for our midfield, because I think this game showcased that Modric, Camavinga, and Valverde can do it. You don't necessarily need to rely on Modric and Cruz to get the games done. As long as you have a bit of experience alongside Valverde and Camavinga and give them consistent game time, I think they can deliver for us. And the fact is, like, the way Asensio performed today, I think this brings the question that Zidane used to use Valverde a lot on the right side, right? So probably we should be thinking about using a 4-man midfield going forward.
There was literally a chance that fell into Asensio's foot in the first couple of minutes.
I think the thing is, like, sometimes I think we as fans tend to, idealize things. We're like, okay, fine, every chance we should go in. He missed a couple of chances. I understand that he was a little below par, but like overall, I'm not going to be too harsh on him. But I think Asensio, like, given the popular sentiment, I think Asensio should be an impact sub or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I don't want him to be sold or anything, but like in the big occasions, like, he's not up for it. At least not after injury. Like, when you lack that kind of pace, and you solely rely on coming short, it's not going to work. I'm sorry.
And the thing is, like, Asensio much more comfortable in the center of the field, right? Like, even today, he drifted a lot there, and he sort of left the right side for Carvajal to deal with on his own, And he's trying to defend Mbappe and trying to defend Nuno Mendes at the same time. So I don't know. Carvajal might have been great.
Nuno Mendes is the player,
And
I like him.
Nuno Mendes impressed me. Like, Nuno Mendes impressed me.
I don't know. For me, I just felt like Asensio wasn't up to par. Like, he was so far, and it was actually, I think maybe more you can remember, like, during the last episode I told you, like, I knew because he was on the sub against Sociedad, he was most likely gonna start.
Yeah, I remember that.
I felt bad about it, and I saw he started, and I just knew that he was just gonna garbage it because, like, to be honest, like, you could see, as you guys just alluded to, like, the changes with Rodrigo, especially, like, it changed everything, really, to be honest. Like, even the way, like, Asensio can't even take the man on. And I think really for him and for us as well, it's best if we separate our ways. So it's the story of, like, the ex that you guys broke up, but like you had an amicable breakup and you're still in love partially. So unless everyone just deletes everyone's number and block them, like, there's no way anyone can.
Down, mate.
So that's just it, man. Like, we need to just, delete each other's number and block each other's number, man. Let's just move on from it.
Farouk looks like he has some experience in this regard.
Oh, that's like...
This guy watches too much Baywatch, man. Like, I can't. But yeah, honestly, in my honest opinion, I'm still pissed off with Ancelotti, man. Like, see, his stubbornness to not make changes and has this certain favoritism around players and protect some of his, favorite love childs, it's not going to go down well for us in the in the immediate future. Like especially next round, if we get someone like Bayern, I think with how he picks players, we are done. Like he literally threw away the first leg.
But Bayern has a pretty weak defense, right? Who do you fancy our chances if we do get Bayern?
Not so sure.
That's another story for another day, man. Let's just maintain our high, man. Let's just still have high.
Yeah, I'm still high, but
honestly, going back to your point, Sunet, about Carlo Ancelotti, I think the thing is like whenever these managers are there who are like good man managers, they have a certain loyalty towards their players. Even Zidane had it to a certain extent. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what to make of it, but the thing is like it is not just down to Ancelotti. I think in some positions we need better players. We need a better backup to Casemiro. We need a better backup to Mendy. For whatever reason, Carlo suddenly decided that Miguel is not good enough to be even a backup. That's something that disappoints me a lot. So overall, I don't know how it goes. Let's see.
Nacho, for all his limitations, the man played out his heart tonight. Like
100%, man, really. 100%.
He was really good. You don't like him?
When you look at Nacho, this guy is Mr. Real Madrid, right? The thing is, like when we went down 1-0, you could see it in him, right? The guy was disappointed, and he sort of lashed out. But then he controlled himself in the second half, and he put in a shift, man. He put in a shift. This guy is like he breathes Real Madrid. He eats, he dreams, he sleeps, whatever you can think. This guy is Mr. Real Madrid for me.
It takes an enormous amount of balls to not get rattled in these kind of situations, because the pressure
to get yourself back. You could see how Kimpembe reacted after Paris went back. This guy, he made 2 tackles that should have gotten him sent off, in my opinion. Then, and that is the difference between Nacho and Kimpembe, right? Kimpembe might have more quality than Nacho, but the thing is, like, Nacho knows how to deal with pressure. I think at the end of the day, that is the biggest quality that you can have.
Actually, guys, what do you guys think? Like, I think from the 60th minutes onwards, like, was it that we were better or like PSG was just shit? Because I felt like I don't know what happened. Like, okay, the subs happened, but I think like that's one of the best, like I say like 20-minute sequence of play we had this season, like one of the very best actually.
In my opinion, Camavinga and Rodrigo provided us with a turbo boost. Like, I can't explain it, but Rodrigo just completely stretched Nuno Mendes. Completely. Like, I don't know how he did it, but like he was caught in no man's land so much. Nuno Mendes, who looked so fucking composed for like 60 odd minutes. Rodrigo gave him a real run for his money just by sticking out wide and putting a ball in, as simple as that.
I have to agree with Sunet. I think crossing into the box from out wide was our best tactic, because even in the first half, we had a couple of opportunities that way before Mbappe scored. But then, you have to give, we keep going back to this, like I keep going back to the same point. The thing is, like, once we scored the first goal, when Benzema, presses on Aruma, the pressure on PSG just increased and they folded, They folded like a pack of cards. To be polite.
So fucking satisfying, man. Oh my God.
Once we scored the second, once we scored the first, it was like there was hope. I think me and Sunet, we were talking in the WhatsApp group, right? You were like, we didn't expect, because the thing is, like, apart from Benzema, we don't really have any reliable scorers. But I was like, when the pressure is there, we'll see who steps up. And Karim the dream, he stepped up, man.
I don't know how he manages to find himself in these positions, man. Like it's not like apart from the first goal, both the other goals wasn't exactly laid on a plate, right? Like he had to make something out of like a half chance, essentially.
The thing is, like, I think he's running behind something that you were asking for, when we were talking in the group. You were saying people need to make runs in behind, and he made
that kind of striker, of course.
Yeah, and he's running behind, and Hakimi, played him on side once again, showing that he's a Madridista at heart. The thing is, like, Benzema gets that goal, and the third goal, immediately afterwards.
Yeah,
I'll be honest, like, once we scored the second goal, I barely got time to register the third goal.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I barely got any time.
I was numb. I was on my knees. Like, the last time I was this shook for a Champions League game was maybe fucking La Decima, bro. Oh, no, the Wolfsburg.
Exactly. I was going to say the Wolfsburg game was it, man. That the free kick was just a cream of the crop there. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
And really,
that was.
for the second goal, also, I would just like to again show some love to Luka, man. Like it was a fantastic move, really. Like,
Oof.
he brought the ball forward, gave it to Vini. The ball came back to him, and the awareness to see where Benzema was and to execute the pass, like really, man, that man is just—he's a gift, man. Really.
They just slid it through, right? Like these fucking idiots giving man like Luca space. Like I when we lose, I call for the heads, like obviously because I have to. Like if we lose, we would have had a completely different complexion of how we would be breaking down
At
stuff.
halftime, I was expecting to come in here and do 40 minutes of silence. I even told you guys, I was so disappointed, man. But the thing is,
I wouldn't be here if we lost, for fuck's sake.
To be honest, like for me, I actually personally felt like for the first like 45 minutes, okay, barring players like Asensio and Carvalho, I felt like we were decent. Just at the point is that these guys were better than us. Like that was just it. Like
I think it wasn't of them being better, but the thing is, like, we suddenly changed strategies and we were pressing high, right?
yeah.
And when we pressed high, we knew that there's going to be a counter. But the fact that Cruz was playing as DM, he did not cover up for the fullbacks. The thing is, like, he was too involved in the attack to cover for fullbacks. But then once the first goal went in and the pressure started telling on PSG, they just didn't know how to deal with it.
Absolutely. Farouk, now's your chance. 20 odd minutes into the pod, your chance to redeem yourself and be a man and man up to your previous slanders of Kamavinga. Let me get this straight, okay? He is not Ruud Gullit, he is not fucking prime Rijkaard, but Kamavinga.
Kamavinga is Kamavinga.
Go for it, Farouk.
What should I say, man? I don't know.
Well,
just flowers for the 20-minute performance he put in.
Let me intercede on Farouk's behalf and say that last podcast, Farouk came on and said, that he valued Kamavinga now. So.
Okay, fair. But that was a one-off.
Actually,
last game was a one-off.
I actually wanted Kamavinga to start this game actually because I felt like his energy would actually overwhelm the Paris midfield. And yeah, what I say, just came to pass, man. So there's nothing to redeem myself upon, man. Actually, I'm just gonna go on like I felt like Mbappe also deserves a shout out. Like he was because I felt like he was very similar to the first leg as well. Like even in the first half, like the only like threat was just Kylian Mbappe, and really that guy is a
long ball to Kylian.
Really, that guy is a different kind of player, to be honest. Really, and the goal, the execution of the goal was something else as well, man.
He's a lot like Thierry Henry, but Henry, like from what I've seen, like after I grew up of him play, he wasn't this quick, nowhere near. He had better technique, but Kylian, man, is on another level of fucking steroids. I don't know how he manages to get that kind of pace.
Man, Kylian is like he has improved himself in close spaces.
Henry was on the pre-game show, and he literally
I saw it.
He literally just explained that move that Mbappe actually executed. He literally explained he moves here, and then you think he's gonna go for the far corner, but then he goes to the deep. Really, man, executing that it's not easy, really, to be honest.
Maybe this is something you like, Sunad. I think Kylian Mbappe did an interview like yesterday or whatever with Rio Ferdinand, and he said I want to grow up and be a complete player like Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's any strike for you, but overall, I think Mbappe has
his idol is Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's get that straight. Henry.
People can have multiple idols, right? He's a footballer. So whatever. So the thing is Kylian Mbappe, he's improved himself in close spaces a lot. The thing is okay, we look at him and we think, okay, this guy's a pace monster, but you have to we have to realize the fact that even if you surround him with 2 or 3 players in the box, this guy knows how to get out of it.
We saw this,
and there's something that came into my mind watching him play over these 2 legs. The fact that Carlo Ancelotti, when we're playing, is he's heavily reliant on quick transition, especially with Vinicius. And if you replace Vinicius and play that same strategy with Kylian Mbappe, the thing is this guy actually has a dangerous finishing product. So I think it's going to be a lot more lethal if we try off that strategy with him, next season, assuming he comes.
Of course, fingers crossed. Let's hope for the best. But since you mentioned Vinicius, were you guys put off a bit by his lack of killer instinct tonight?
I think the thing is
a couple of half chances.
Kylian is 21 right now, right? when Mbappe
Yeah.
was 21, he wasn't at the top of the world. Last 2 years, Mbappe has stepped up. So maybe Vinicius has already taken a step up this season, right? From what we have seen in the La Liga. So maybe
Yeah.
in the next 2 years we might see Vinicius go where Kylian is now.
Mm.
I'm just gonna give him a little bit of a leeway because he's too young.
Fair enough.
Actually,
And also,
I felt maybe the occasion also got to him because like the
yeah,
opportunity to come up, and also we were 3-1 up, and then as you said, like we had more couple of half chances, and I just felt maybe the occasion got to him as well. The pressure. I think maybe this is the most pressurized game he's ever played in his life. So
yeah. This was certainly, yeah. But going back to one point that I wanted to address, do you guys think Courtois could have done better on the Mbappe goal, because he had a precursor which was ruled out, which was the exact same thing that Mbappe did. He was looking towards the far corner, hit it near post, and it hit the post and went in.
I'm not going to blame Courtois, man. The thing is, like, he tried. He gets the right way, and I think the pace at which the ball comes sometimes is very difficult, to reach it on time. So for me personally, I'm not blaming.
The commentators were on his ass, like they were saying, "Oh, he has a family, like you can't disrespect him like that." He made him sit a couple of times
Like,
already.
which commentators were those? Like the English ones?
Clive Tidesley and someone else.
I remember I heard that comment as well because I watched on CBS. But actually, what I would say is like, the point is like, it was like, as you said, like, was he at fault or not because he had done something similar? The point is that these options, you're guessing like, what is he gonna do? He might decide to go to the far corner, or he might decide to come to the near post. It's something that you literally cannot tell. So I think I will agree with Mo here. Like, you can't literally blame the goalkeeper for that. And I think it's a very difficult shot to save, actually, to be honest. And also,
especially given the pace at which Kylian hits.
It was hit with such venom. Like, yeah, it was close to
but the thing is, like, at the end of the day, Benzema is the best French player right now.
Of course he is. He deserves all the praise he gets. But let's focus on the players we didn't give our flowers to. Man, Alaba was a fucking man mountain. Like, I don't know how he manages to pull these kind of performances together, because you can easily crack under this kind of pressure, especially in your first 6-7 months at the club. He was immense.
And if you guys remember, when Militao was sort of struggling a little bit with injury, this guy came on and was motivating him. Did you see that?
Yeah.
This guy's like he's really stepped into the role of the great Sergio Ramos and taken the leadership mantle for the back line. And the thing is, like, okay, just to digress a little bit, I think this is a performance that Sergio Ramos would have been proud of.
Absolutely, absolute warrior, man. Like how he manages to keep the standards high, not let his teammates drop off, motivate them, like some of his fucking runs into the deep, man, like very sometimes stays back after the attack breaks down and presses. Man, he was really on it, really on it. Like, initially when people said that he is going to sign on a big sign-on fee and whatnot for free, I was not impressed, not one bit. But he's been serving me humble pie for a while now, and I'm happy with it.
Actually, I think even the key, like the most, like, how can I say, like the most Alaba fan, like, I don't know, the most Alaba loving fans also will be surprised. Like, they also like will find this adaptation in this short period of time quite astonishing. Really. But I think also it speaks to a player with such experience as well. Like, this is David Alaba we're talking about. He's won, I think, 2 Champions Leagues at Munich, 10 titles, and all those things. So like he has vast experience as well. But also on the other hand, you have to compare. Although you see players with a lot of experience, for example, like Rafa Varane at United right now, he's not settled, and with what is and what is not, you go and you see. So it's just also.
Let's get this straight. Even Varane's none can get settled in Manchester United. It's just an absolute shambles. Let's not speak about them.
I mean, Varane is struggling a little bit with injury as well. So,
Yeah, he is. He has struggled with injury for the latter part of.
What I'm trying to point out here is that it's not about the fact that he's struggling with injury or not. What I'm just saying is that you can watch the games with Varane and the Manchester United defenders, and you can actually see that there is a problem there. Like, there's a lack of communication, there's a lack of gelling there. You understand? And it's not just
you're fucking defending next to a fucking fridge, bro. Like,
Man, I'm telling you, if Alaba was in the defense with United, it's going to be a different team, man. Really, to be honest.
No, I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
It's going to be a different thing. I'm telling you, if it's Sergio Ramos there, it's going to be a different thing. Like a fit Sergio Ramos, like a fit and dedicated Sergio Ramos, it's going to be a different thing. Really.
Yeah, Sergio Ramos would have been injured, like, throughout the season. So
Let's not worry about the shit devils over at Manchester.
Was
But,
Ramos at the stadium today? They didn't show him. I didn't see him, or rather, maybe I missed him.
I think Ramos came to Madrid. I know that. He was like, I think.
I'm not sure he was in the stadium. Like, if he was at the stadium, they would have shown him, right?
Yeah, but maybe our broadcasters didn't show him. Maybe he was there.
I mean, the thing is, like, maybe he didn't sit with the team and he sat in his own private box at the Bernabeu. I think he does have one. So who knows?
Yeah, maybe he has all the right to do so.
Yeah. The thing is, like, Florentino Perez and Sergio Ramos, they have a really close relationship, despite however the contracting went off. And I think Florentino Perez, like one of the rumors I read, like Florentino Perez wanted Sergio Ramos to leave Real Madrid out in the new Bernabeu. So the thing is, like, there's a lot of mutual respect there. So I think Sergio Ramos wanted to come to Madrid to be here for this game. I'm pretty sure that he was there, whatever the broadcasters might have shown us or not.
I was really relieved, even though he's on his last legs, Sergio Ramos, because of his prolonged injury and whatnot. I was so relieved that he wasn't going to be a part of both legs. Because
honestly, for me, I cannot see Sergio Ramos play against Real Madrid. It's like Sergio Ramos is like, he's the personification of Real Madrid, because throughout the time that I've been a Real Madrid fan, since like whatever, Sergio Ramos has always been at Madrid. So to see him play against us would have been like heartbreaking. So for me, like if I was being romantic, I would hope that PSG somehow cancel his contract and Florentino Perez makes the deal and brings him back or whatever. But like the thing is, like, it would have been heartbreaking.
I'm pretty sure he'll be back coaching someday, for a fact. I think.
The thing is, like, even when he gave his goodbye press conference, farewell press conference, he said that this is just a see you later. This is not a goodbye. So I'm pretty sure he'll be back.
Final prop we need to give someone, two people actually, Militao and Valverde. How do you guys rate their performances tonight?
The thing is, like, when Farouk was talking about, the thing is, like, if Alaba had been at United and whatever, the thing is, like, Alaba is at Real Madrid and alongside him is it Militao. The thing is, like, this is a guy who has been underrated for such a long time, maybe because of the fact that Ramos, alongside Varane, he did not perform his best. But ever since he's been playing alongside, whenever he played previously with Ramos, now he's playing with Alaba. I think this guy has been one of the best center back in the world. Like, even in the last podcast we're discussing this guy has to be easily among the top 10 center backs in the world and maybe even challenging for top 5.
Yeah, like, he definitely is in conversation, like, among top 10 and top 5. But for me, still, I have some gripe with him. Wasn't necessarily exposed either this leg or the first leg at Paris, but it's his aerial prowess, which I've always banged on. And I hope he steps up in that regard. And obviously, if he can put away a couple of corners, would be great. But yeah, that's one thing that might push him.
I think when it comes to defending aerial crosses, he's good. But when it comes to offensive end of getting at the end of crosses, he needs to improve, right? But even then, he got a goal early this season. I guess I'll say that rescued a point for us. So
yeah. Also, Valverde, Farouk, what did you think?
Fede was just as I thought he would be, man. Like, just all energy and And actually, the thing is, I feel like we always like kind of relates Valverde to just all energy, but like the guy has some brains in his head as well, man. Like, he actually has footballing ability. He's not just like an athlete that the Liverpool of the past, they just had midfield of athletes who literally could not even think, just not to name names for a certain captain in a certain club in England. Anyways, so yeah, just really Valverde also has the brains, the footballing brains as well. Like, I really was really satisfied with this performance today. And to be honest, because like he was there and he was like playing with this garbage. I don't know what should I say, garbage, or like with Asensio and Carvajal on the same side as he was. Like, it was so difficult for him actually, but to be honest, he held his ground and he was pressed. He was pushing up high, going in defense, helping out the fullbacks as well. So yeah, I really, but actually I was just gonna touch on something. Like, I think Mo said something like it shows like a template for what the future can look like. about playing with Modric at the base and something like this.
Yeah.
But I think the future is this. For me, in my opinion, the future is this: eliminate Asensio from the game. That's just it. Rodrigo is the impact sub. Play with Casemiro, Cruz, Modric, and Valverde. You sub in someone for Camavinga, and then you sub in someone else for Rodrigo in the second half as well. I think this is the template, to be honest, because the point is that Modric, like, he offers you something different. Like Cruz, whether about his mobility or lack thereof, he sends the tempo of the game. And we know Casemiro doesn't have a replacement. But we need that energy, that person who can go from box to box, that person who can, break the lines, So that person is Valverde, to be honest. As we've seen in the past with Zidane was playing him as an auxiliary winger. He was just an additional midfielder who just drifted to the wide to the wide position from time to time. I feel this is something that needs to happen. But unfortunately, like, I don't know. I think even after watching this game, still we will go to the next game and Asensio starts and Carvajal starts and all these guys start and we have to just go all over again. So that's just it's like we're just talking and we're just talking between ourselves because we know like shit. same old garbage.
The thing is, like, Farouk just said that Valverde is not just about energy, but he always has some football knowledge. I remember, it was reminded me of something I said in the group today. If it was being athlete that all it took to be a good footballer, Usain Bolt will be a great footballer right now. The thing is, like,
I wanted to fucking smash my phone. Like what the fuck? But yeah, we move. So closing points. Big win, massive win.
Very big.
Massive considering we fucking crushed their ego into their fucking skulls, It doesn't get any more satisfying than
honestly, I want to see the face of Nasser Al-Khelaifi.
Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Go on.
I wanted to see the face of Nasser Al-Khelaifi after the third goal went.
Was he there at the Bernabeu? He must have been, right?
I think so. I remember they had this pre-match lunch or something, whatever, and they had this ceremony where I think Florentino, he gave him a Madrid shirt in the gift and model of the new Bernabeu, and this guy comes back with a Eiffel Tower or whatever. There's nothing about his club to present to somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I just wanted to see his face, man. Like, you remember the last time they got knocked out, he had this angry face that became
which turned into
I want to see, I want to see what face he came out with this time around. It would have been funny.
I hope Flo Perez, actually sends him some quality strippers to ease off at night. Which
maybe a Real Madrid shirt with Mbappe on the back.
That could be a good added tip.
But honestly, like, to close off, I would say this was a performance that the spirit of Juanito and Sergio Ramos would be proud of. For me, that's it.
So definitely, it was the embodiment of the never-dying spirit. Hostile final is basically what it was tonight. Like, we fought till the end. Everybody as a collective. I was in tears, and I'm pretty sure many of us would have been in the same.
Yeah. Today was the embodiment of the word that 90 minutes at the Bernabeu is a very long time.
Very long
for
time.
PSG was a very
People
long
had the
time.
fucking audacity to question that, like, let them do it, right? Like
Real Madrid will always be Real Madrid, man. There's
Actually,
nothing
I
else
just
to
want
do.
to point out to something. Actually, there was a free kick we got at the around 89, 86, something like that, where like Rodrigo got fouled and he took the ball and like he told Benzema, "I want this," and they gave him that. I don't know if you guys could recall that.
I mean, that is the quality that you have to have at Real Madrid.
No,
You have to have personality. That is what you need. Good players can play at good clubs. Great players play at great clubs. But to play at Real Madrid, you need to have that, that belief in yourself.
No, actually, that's not my point. My point about is the fact about that I felt like this was the game which like embodies the definition of what a team is. It was a complete team performance, And in the past, it's always been like just a moment of brilliance from Benzema or like Benzema, Vinicius 1-2, and it's a goal, and all the team has been garbage, or like more did well, It's been like, I don't know how to put it. Like, what I'm just trying to point out here is that it's been like, in parts this season, like, okay, these players are good today and the others are bad. But like for the last 30 minutes, it was like we're all in this, literally. There were situations where like I was seeing like Nacho was like, he was a winger. I was like, wait, dude, he has to defend Di Maria. Where's Di Maria? Like they were just all there. And like even if Paris got the ball back, like we collectively got like just hustled them and we got the ball back and we just moved together as a team. Like this was the real definition of, because the truth is that in the past, for example, we mentioned about the Wolfsburg game. The Wolfsburg game was just like, a freak, like Cristiano is a freak and like he just,
Yeah.
But like today's game was like, it was a pure team performance. Pressing of Donnarumma, going to Vinicius back to Benzema, Modric winning the ball, going to Vinicius, back to Modric, giving it to Benzema. It was just a pure team performance. So like actually that acts there, like where Vinicius, where Rodrigo was injured and then he took the ball and Benzema just came in, he wanted to take the ball and he was like, okay, this is on me. And Benzema went and told Modric and Alaba that, okay, like this guy's gonna take this. Like it just showed the team spirit there. It embodied the team spirit, and that for me was a very good fight actually.
Today was evidence again for all the people out there, all the multi-billionaires who's watching to buy big clubs, akin your Chelsea's and whatnot. This is the blueprint. Like you can't win anything with prima donnas in your fucking team. Like they're gonna whine, moan, and whinge until they get home.
I mean, you can buy clubs, you can pour in all the money in the world, but still you can't run it.
Yeah,
that's simple,
Absolutely. PSG is the pseudo Real Madrid, right? Like they are.
Well, they even brought in white shirts to play like us.
They fucking aspire to be us, and they put out this fucking abomination in the name of football stars and whatnot, like absolute shambles. But yeah, nothing gets sweeter than this. One final point before we wrap this up: Benzema has been in fine form. He had a dip in form for a half a month, where I thought he would just go off steam and literally disappear because he has been overplayed, in my opinion. But tonight he proved me wrong again. The man for the big occasion, just like he has been.
The dream.
What do you guys think are his realistic chances if we go very deep in this competition and eventually win La Liga for Ballon d'Or?
I think the Ballon d'Or is going to be influenced by World Cup.
Fair. So it's not gonna be so.
I mean, the Champions League is going to be a factor, but I think the biggest factor is probably going to be the World Cup. So let's see.
Yeah. Fair point. Any last words, Farooq and Hauke?
I don't know, man. I feel like irrespective of the World Cup, I think the Champions League it's the main thing, man. Like really, to be honest, I feel like if Benzema can push us to the Champions League, I think he is in for it. Because the point is that right now, you think of what's happening, then he's competing with the likes of Salah and Lewandowski, right? So I feel like already, like, without disrespecting anyone, like Egypt and Poland are not going to win the World Cup, right?
No.
So if he pushes like us to winning the Champions League, I think he is
sealed on. I think irrespective of who. Like initially I was talking latter stages, but if he manages to win the Champions League with this team, by God, like I can't even fucking imagine the scenes.
And this will be Benzema's Champions League, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If he actually wins this, man, he'll be etched into, I don't know, like I don't think there is any more of his fucking graciousness to be etched into our history. But if he wins this alone, man, it'll be something.
Because I feel like the other thing is that if he wins the World Cup with France, like the main protagonist for France is always going to be Kylian Mbappe, like whether or irrespective of what happens or what is happening.
I mean, that's not true. The thing is, like, when they won the Nations League, everybody saw that how good Benzema was. So I think
it's not about that. I think it's going to be very similar to Messi with Messi and Neymar at Barcelona. For example, the comeback with Paris, like Neymar was the guy for the comeback, and like the next day on all the papers, it's the picture of Messi.
But I don't think Benzema is looked in the same light as how Neymar was all those years back. Benzema and
I mean, the thing is, like, whatever happens, if people are to believe Florentino Perez is going to sell his house just to get Benzema that Ballon d'Or. So,
is that as well? But the thing is that on the other hand as well, most likely these guys are going to line up next year on the same team, and they're going to be, So what happens then?
Including Haaland. I don't know how that's going to be, but let's fucking get him. Let's fucking get him, guys. Let's get him.
It's morning time, man. Stop dreaming, man. What are you dreaming about?
Let's get him and think about what to do.
Before
dreaming.
Before things get out of hand, let's just end it here. Because if we keep going on, we're gonna talk till the end of the night. So
It was a fucking fantastic night, really, and I loved. I'm gonna say it again, man. Thank God for Luka Modric's mother. Really, I was so impressed by Modric today. Like, it just, I don't know, man. He keeps breaking barriers. Really, he keeps breaking barriers at the age of 36, 37. Like, it's just incredible. It's incredible.
One of the greatest to ever play
Really.
from
Definitely.
midfield. Absolutely. Oof. Man is something, man. Like, he's definitely getting a year extension, right? For sure.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah,
there was this
but-
line the commentator used towards the end of the game, and he was like, again, it's Luka Modric. Today he seems to be everywhere. Like, that's like the summary of Luka today. He was just everywhere, anywhere, anytime.
Mm,
He was there, man. Yeah.
absolutely. So one last thing, but this is my third last thing. But man of the match, of course, Karim, right? Nobody
Karim,
else.
man, 3
Like,
goals. How do you compete with that?
But-
3 goals.
Let's do it this way. Unsung hero.
Unsung hero, probably, I don't know, man. It's a bit tough. Militao or Alaba, maybe. Courtois.
One guy.
Courtois
Militao
had
for you?
like for me, I think Courtois had a couple of saves as well. So I don't know.
Pick
For me,
one person, man. For fuck's sake.
For me, it's between Alaba or Nacho, actually, I think.
Alaba or Nacho. Okay. Okay.
Okay, fine. I'll go with Courtois.
So you just gave up. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Courtois. For me, it should be 2. The people who came on.
Man, you just said there has to be 1. Okay, don't cheat.
But I'm gonna twist the rules for my sake. For me, it was Camavinga and Rodrigo, who just came
Okay.
on, completely changed the game, and saved Carlos' fucking heart. Okay, let's put it
Okay.
straight.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. And just to end, I'll just say, hasta el final vamos Real.
a la Madrid, nada más. A Madrid.
Madrid.